Namaste, one and all. Welcome to Cowism. We will be beginning our live very soon with our guest. I hope you all are doing well. All right, so I'll give you a brief introduction about our very special guest today. But before that, let me give you a background about how we came to know her through our very old contact, actually. So, our team visited Gujarat in 2022, where we once more met Dr. Hitesh Jani, who is well known as a walking encyclopedia of Ayurveda, and the tremendous work that he is doing for cow based agriculture, medicine, and lifestyle for people, tribal area people who have been rearing cows for thousands of years. This is in the area of Lakpat. So, our guest today is someone who has taken this authentic culture from the same region of Gujarat and these gifts from the Desi cow under this guidance of Dr. Hitesh Jani, who I also call as my guru, to the West. So I welcome Devli Sehgal ji, founder of Anaghaya Global, which is a truly global brand built on wellness from Desi cows. Namaste,
Namaste,
Devli ji.
everyone. Namaste, Shivali ji. Thank you so much, firstly, for having us on this platform. I must say, I've been a huge fan of your work, of the way you orate and you put across such simple things with so much impact. And it's a sheer delight that we share the same guru. Guru Kripa hai to sab kuch hai. He is
Yes.
Dr. Saab has blessed us with so much Go Kripa with his knowledge, and today he's brought us together. So really
Absolutely.
grateful and looking forward to this session.
Absolutely. And they say, dharma is something that should be explained in a very simple way that everybody
Yes.
can understand. Because only when you understand it can you follow it, right? So it need not have to be very complicated. And the mother cow really simplifies things for us. So I'm also very excited to have you today because you're taking Ayurveda and Panchgavya to new heights across the world. So a lot of people will take inspiration from you, the ones who are running goshalas, and um, from that end to the users, the whole gamut of people. So let's begin. You are a management graduate from top colleges in the West. So, how did you come about getting connected with this very ancient science of life or Ayurveda, and that too with Dr. Hitesh Jani, who is such a humble doyen?
See, I firstly come, having experienced the West firsthand, one got to know at a very early age what both sides of the story were. What was people get enamored by the West, by the fast life, the modern culture, but there is also a backlash to it. You need that grounding, you need that spiritual strength, and you need natural healing to keep you going in that fast paced life. So, having
Right, right.
experienced that firsthand in my college life, and when I worked in my days back in California, it was very easy for me to connect with our roots out here and what they had to offer. So they were basically, very traditional solutions for the modern day lifestyle. And since connecting to our guru, like they say, the guru finds you, how life had it, that since childhood one was always very inclined towards mother cow and mother nature. I would find myself playing with the guy and the bachra, yeah, at our farm and wherever the opportunity was. And somehow life took a full circle from being a management, kid to exporting horses to being a gemologist. I found true wealth when I actually discovered Panchgavya and the healing properties that it had to offer. And this was all because of the margdarshan of our guru. Dr. Jani has championed the cause of Panchgavya and Ayurveda connected to cows. And when we looked into it further, we connected with him, and he was very, very kind to be the guiding light and the force behind all that you see today. So, what we have done simply is act as a vehicle to bring that knowledge and wisdom of the East and help serve the, give the solutions to the West.
Beautiful. So your journey started as a child when you were playing with the cow and the calf, and after discovering the true wealth, you are bringing it at a global level, which is truly inspiring. Now, today in the world, we are all faced with a lot of stress. Most people are having a lot of health issues. Literally, people are consumed by the demons of modern life. Even the social media on which we are appearing right now is that dopamine hit that people are looking for. So
Yes.
everywhere, these demons. What is nature and these wellness rituals that you're offering from Panchagavya of the past, the ancient India, and the mother cow? What do they have to offer to the modern civilization of today?
See, when we look at the past, even in our folklore, even in our stories, like I recently had done the Temple Panchgavya project, course with you, and you had stated how Lord Krishna's mother used to bathe him in Gomai, in the Panchgavya, so that the evil effects do not come onto him.
Yes.
And that, when you look at it now today, science has proven how the gomai, how the gomutra, how the different elements of the Panchgavya are actually coming to the rescue of not only physical ailments but also mentally helping, people get out of things. So
Yes.
it's been, today, like I'll give you an example. We have a product called the Swarna Prashan, which we do for the children. It is an Ayurvedic immunization. It was the one which is done, was there much before any modern day vaccines or immunizations were there. That
Yes.
is now given once a month on a particular day called the Pushya Nakshatra, and Pushya means to nourish. So this not only has an impact on your physical body, but it also has an impact on your metaphysical body. It can also balance the planetary effects that may be on children. So there are many, many formulations which are which contain the Panchagavya, which have multiple healing properties.
I mean, just look at what, the ancient science of Ayurveda. It's connecting you, like you said, at a physical level with the cosmic energies. They
Yes.
knew which nakshatra, which time of the month is the best to administer. I mean, absolutely hats off to the science, We are
That's
still
why
to discover.
the
Yeah.
science of life. It is the most holistic healing science, and I think compared to today's modern age, medical science, it is far, far ahead, leaps and bounds ahead. It will probably take thousands of years for today's science to catch up what Ayurveda has already documented in the past.
So please tell us about Anaghaya Global, your company, and your recent representation of the company at the Ayurveda America conference.
So Anagya was born with a very pure intention. When we got to learn that there was so much more that the Desi Gomata had to offer and how healing her Panchkavya was, we took it upon us to connect the East to the West. Because we were seeing, coming from them ourselves, we were seeing how much the West was in need of it. The demons of stress, anxiety, and multiple modern lifestyle related health issues could only be addressed by the Panchagavya based products. So that's how Anagya was born, and what started with a very humble effort today has grown into over 100 products.
Wow.
And we have kept it very, very simple, so we have a immunity range and a wellness range. Immunity, we know in today's day and age, there is nothing better for one's immunity than the desi cow ghee, the gritam. And
True.
you will be amazed to know that last year ghee was the most googled word in the US.
Oh, okay.
It
Hmm.
is the number one fact globally, and it has such high value, and it is seen in the most, um, you know, what you would in the best of stores, in the luxury segment, in the wellness segment. It is really revered and really looked up to. So when we talk to people, and we say, "Do you know ghee?" and the reaction is like, "Of course we know ghee," you know. So that was a really overwhelming thing. And coming to, what we have tried to do is make it very simple for the layman to follow Ayurveda. So the West has really gone into in-depth knowledge, and we were surprised to learn that they have a pretty good uh, knowledge of Ayurveda and Sanskrit. They've gone to our Vedas. It's amazing to come across people, especially in America, who have adopted Indian names. If I may tell you, one actually met a few people with the names of Jagdamba and Durga and Trimurti. And when I asked them, how would you be in this scenario? They said, these are our spiritual names, and
Wow.
we feel so connected to the East. So people are adapting, they're really adopting, because it gives them so much of, you know mental, physical, emotional ease. So the culture of
Yes.
the East has really been taken and upheld in the West today.
Very true. Very true. And the ghee thing that you mentioned, if you remember, Dr. Jani always speaks about ghee as not even being fat. It's much, much more than that. He calls it
Yeah.
sneha. Sneha actually means love. So it's pure love from the cow. And the West is realizing that, which is incredible. How often, like, did you find desi cow ghee also being valued, or was it just the clarified butter from the cows that are mostly available in the
See,
US?
the ones who are knowledgeable, they know that these are the Brahma cows, the Desi cows, and
Yeah.
they pay that price, including shipping, for that pure Desi ghee. But yes, there are people who also go for organic ghee. And what really gets me wondering is that if we don't act upon it and spread that knowledge, well, we will very soon be having another country maybe patent the ghee. So I feel from the bottom of my heart there should be a movement to get the geographical indication, to get some kind of patent on the indigenous cow ghee, that it only come from India. Like
Very true.
Parmesan cheese can only be called Parmesan if it comes from that certain region. So why
Very true.
not bring it to our indigenous cows and give them their rightful due?
Absolutely. And the term desi means Indian. I think the GI would be applicable even because the name itself is
Ye-
indicating as Indian.
Yes,
We have done some videos with Dr. Jani and how he was telling about the history of Lakpat.
yes,
The town's name itself indicates that lakhs of kori, that was the currency at that time, was coming in primarily because India was exporting ghee all over the world. And I
yes,
feel,
yes.
you are bringing that back, that glory back. So tell us about ghee in a little more detail and its role in our well-being, and what kind of products related to ghee that you're making.
So ghee, coming from the right source, from the Desi cows, and being prepared in the right way, which is the cultured ghee, which is our traditional Bologna ghee, has its own miraculous healing properties. One would say it is the number one prana food. So the life force energy that one, if you calculate it in those terms, there can be no other food as positive as ghee. And one thing is saying, but one thing is seeing the results. When we talk of
Absolutely.
ghee as anti-cancerous, we have stuff like CLA and butyric acid, which are really, really there for the efficacy to fight even the most chronic ailments. So
Yes.
from head to toe, whether you're applying it, whether you're doing nasyam, whether you're even doing padabhyangam, which is
Mm.
your foot massage, it has so much of therapeutic effect that I think what we have done with our bare 100 products is just scratching the surface of, how beneficial this liquid gold is.
Very true, very true. And personally, I experienced a lot of weight loss by consuming ghee. You wouldn't
Yes,
believe, it was the vata that was aggravated. And just by consuming ghee, it reduced. So
yes,
the ancient saying, in India goes that, you should take loan and eat ghee. In fact, drink ghee, you
drink.
know. Yeah, and in every language in India, it is said. Like in Kannada, they say "sala madi tuppa tinni." Sala
Yes,
is loan. You take loan, and tuppa is ghee. So in all languages, so it's a very deeply rooted thing in India. But unfortunately, we don't find the quality of ghee.
yes,
And Anaghaya is bringing that. It's not just Bologna, but because it's coming from that region of
yes,
Lakpat, the cows are freely grazing because my team was there and we could see how beautifully those people, the Maldhari community, is
yes.
actually keeping the cows.
And look
So,
at how fine they look, the Kankrej cows with
yeah,
those big, horns on their head and literally
absolutely.
grazing on forest land, which has
Yes.
natural herbs growing. That is like
Yes.
actually virgin land, free from any pesticides or, any kind of commercial farming. So when you're getting that potent quality of ghee, that is really its weight in gold.
And I think, it needs to be priced at a very expensive, level, because I think you're doing that and anybody should
Yes,
value that.
yes,
Um, Personally, I mean, I have a few cows at home, and somebody asked me, how much is the ghee that I said, I cannot even give it to you for 10,000 rupees per kg. Because it's so dear and we don't milk our cows unethically, we take very little milk, so it's
yes.
so precious. I cannot give it to you for less than that. So what's the price range that you're looking at in India and US, because I believe you have two
Yes.
websites, right?
Yes, yes. So in the US, we sell at almost like $100 a jar, which is a liter jar. And then we have the Gir cow variant also. So they are all priced differently as per the sizes. But I tell them, even if you don't get your hands on a big jar and you can get a small nasiam, that
True.
itself will do it for you. That is, again,
True.
like they say, ghee is the only thing that can cross your blood-brain barrier.
Yes.
So all this time during COVID also and otherwise, we have seen how potent that is.
For all the mental disorders also, that is
Yes,
why, because like you said, it can cross the blood brain barrier. All the medicines, the Panchgavya, the various other ghees for mental illnesses, psychiatric issues, it has
yes.
to be ghee based. No other
And
medicine
so
can
this
reach.
way, now they say the world is going to be seeing the hottest 5 years coming ahead with the global warming. The ghee
Yes.
nasya actually helps pacify your pitta. So when you're doing
Mm.
nasya once a day, you never have to worry of getting a heat stroke.
Yes, absolutely. So, my family and I have used a lot of your products and we have experienced miraculous results. And I've also seen testimonials on your website. Maybe we can play a few of them and just show to our audience as well. So, could you tell me a little more about who this person
About
is?
our
Can,
conference, at a conference in Singapore, and
yeah.
this is the gentleman who's in the video. He's actually a doctor, and he came
Okay.
up to us saying that I have major drug anxiety and I can't breathe. Do you have anything that can help me? And I gave him our vapor balm, which is our ghee-based, decongestant balm. And just as we were speaking, 10 minutes later, whoa, he had this reaction. I said, "What happened, doc? Are you okay?" And he said, "I can breathe, you know."
Yes.
I told him, "Wait till you try the Nasya, you know, you'll never have allergy problems your entire life."
Yeah, wonderful. And there's another one
Hi Devli,
here.
it's Dion again. I came back to
This
tell you that
is
I've
the
tried
lady
your
from
wonderful foot
Scotland.
massage oil
She
last night
again
and it
was
was
attending the
amazing.
conference with us.
Woke up this morning
I won't be
feeling
attending
really good.
tomorrow because
More
I have
importantly,
very my feet are
pain
killing
balm.
me.
Used that
And
on
we gave
the
her
biggest
samples
toe
of
which I
our
have
pain
really
balm
bad
and our
arthritis and
foot massage
it
oil.
continually hurts.
And
It
she came back the
stop
next
working,
day and
which is
see
bizarre,
her
but it
jumping
does.
with joy.
No pain this morning. Thank you so much.
So
Great
this is
product,
all
great
because
heart.
of
I'll definitely be
the
back.
efficacy of the ghee. You know, when Ayurveda, that's why they call ghee as the vehicle to carry the herbs into deep tissue. So the balms that we have done, even the oils that we make, you know, have a certain amount of raw milk and or some element of the Panchgavya, which immediately helps increase the efficacy of the product. So the effectiveness is far more. And then people ask us, you know, what do you put into it? I said it's just the blessings of the Gomata, and everything else follows.
Yeah, so holistic, you know. I was reading the other day that, there was this in America, some bald guy, he was always used to milk his cows, and his cow used to lick his bald head, you know. And slowly over time, he discovered that he had hair coming back. And
Wow.
he took this a great realization to some scientist abroad, and the scientist then discovered that cow's saliva has growth hair follicle growth promoting hormone, and he
Wow.
actually made a medicine out of it, which is now being sold world over in at a very expensive price. But there's a catch to it. The
Mhm.
medicine only works when you're balding at an early age. But if you
Oh,
get yourself licked with the cow at
yeah.
any age, you would get your hair back, and even if you're completely bald. So that's the difference between modern medicine and a holistic Ayurveda.
Yeah. Yes.
Ayurveda is like complete. You any part of the tree, of the plant, of the grass, whatever you're using it whole. You're not
Yes.
taking an extract of it or a particular molecule. You
Yes.
may take curcumin out of turmeric, but then it's not going to have the same effect as the whole. So
Yes, absolutely. I think that could probably be one of the reasons why the West is now paying top dollar for cow
yes.
cuddling. You know, just
Yeah.
spending time with cows for
Yes.
an hour. I think it's $300 an hour just to
Yeah.
come and spend time, feed them, hug them, which we very simply in the East call go seva, and we can go
Yes.
and do it at any goshala, and it's
Yes. Yes.
always prescribed by our elders. So the West is
Yes.
actually has actually felt that vacuum, because believe me you, there is so much stress out there, there is so
Mm.
much loneliness out there, that unless you are you're going on to a higher spiritual plane, or you're going on to natural products, you are not going to be able to balance it out.
Very true, very true. But I still believe, the West, even we can learn something from them. The way they are sincere in their work. For
Yes.
example, cows in the West, I have seen goshalas in California, Texas, all these places.
Yes.
There, the cows are actually happier because they are grazing in the open. So the cow cuddling there would be more comfortable. You know,
Yes.
in
Yes.
India, the goshalas have very limited land. So that
Mm.
is one drawback. But definitely, once the West is showing the way, I think we will also adapt.
We always used to have gochar land in our villages, which was the common land for all the village cows to graze. But I think the
Exactly.
commercialization and the policy making has changed that over time. But if we can work towards, better policy implementation, maybe we can lobby for getting the gochars back, because this is the least
Absolutely.
that we can do for our indigenous cows, since they have
Absolutely.
done so
So,
much.
yeah, I have been very vocal about this, but I feel, through you, the message can really go out as well, because we need the national grazing policy. We don't have any policy on how the cow has to graze. And Gopa Ashtami, which is the festival when Lord Sri Krishna himself started grazing the cows. needs to be celebrated as a day of grazing,
Yes,
and the importance of grazing. So
absolutely.
wonderful. Yeah.
Any country, to sustain, to grow,
Yeah.
needs to have the backbone of culture. And our
Absolutely.
culture in our country predominantly, we have been following the Sanatan Dharma.
Yes.
And one of the key pillars of Sanatan Dharma, of the four pillars, is the Desi Gomata. So it
Yes.
is all interrelated. If the country has to grow and progress and sustain itself in the long run, it has to take from its roots. You cannot
Yes.
ignore, your culture, or let go of your roots. And this is something, like when you said the West is very sincere, because I feel somewhere the West doesn't have that, preconceived notion of, whatever is indigenous is inferior. Unfortunately,
Yes.
because of our colonial rule, we had been brainwashed in a certain way that whatever
Yes.
your cultural richness was actually, not, uh,
Very true. Look at
good.
this picture that you sent me this morning about, how this person from, I think, Germany or
From London.
UK, from
uh,
London, they
yes, yes.
wanted to do the Homa, the Agnihotra, and you
Yes.
arranged, the cow dung cakes for them. And so please tell us a little more about these such
So
experiences.
uh, these are our clients from London. Emma is a very, very old client. She's been taking ghee. In fact, her children also cook their pasta in ghee. And a lot of projects, have been going their way with much appreciation. So this time when she told me, Devli, I've heard about the Agnihotra, and that is something I really want to incorporate. Can you get that across to me? And I said, sure, we've got the kit and we'll, try to get it across. So we were able to ship her the Agnihotra kit, but and the ghee she had, but the Gomai cakes, there was a little bit of a export issue. So we were trying, she was dedicated. She said, no, I want to do this, I want to get hold of it. And we were amazed how expensive it was on Amazon UK. So somehow we connected, after a long search, we connected the dots, and the Agnihotra Society in UK came to the rescue, and they really helped her pull this through. And I think it was her sheer willpower and dedication that today, you see her kids enjoying this practice and incorporating it.
Beautiful. Yes.
So we,
So,
we always try to associate ourselves with anybody who is doing something for our cause. So the whole idea is Vasudev Kutumba, that the whole world is one family. And what I love about this is that everybody here comes in a very collaborative way. So I'll give you an example of this gentleman, Gautam. He's from Austin, Texas, and he's actually made an entire documentary on the practice of Agnihotra.
wow.
So he's a lawyer himself, and he was facing some issues, and how, in fact, I have a live with him on our page, and he states how Agnihotra, helped him grow spiritually, helped him battle depression. So he's made a full documentary stating how, it is great for mental health issues, and also a different one on Homa farming, of how it
Yeah.
gives back to nature and the importance of yagna. So there's a lot of work being done on every aspect of this.
Excellent. And you're being a great medium, to enable this for so many Westerners. Tell me, what is your inspiration, and the goal that you have for Anaghya? Where do you want
Anagya,
to take this?
well, like you can see in our name, we've attached global wellness. So we want wellness to be a global phenomena. The way, the times are going, the culture is going, everything seems to be diminishing and everything seems to be going backward. But somewhere there has to be some hope, there has to be some light. So when we found Guruji and we found the answer in Ayurveda and all that it has to offer, so we took it upon us as our duty to take it and spread the message, not only in our country but globally, because again, the world is one family, and anything now, we are in a global village. We cannot isolate it to just one region.
Very true. Very true. So we're also now almost ending our session. So if any questions are there from the audience, I think we can take those as well. And in the meanwhile, if you have any message for your global audience, Devli, please feel free to share.
We are just overwhelmed and very, very grateful, to the kind of support and love that our audience globally has shown us. Because even before we could, explore India completely, we were being identified by the West, and being really, really valued for this. So I would like to say that now, especially after our US trip, we are going to be available on Amazon US very soon, and our website is there. You can always get in touch with us, and we will try to ship to you wherever you are possible. I can't.
We'll
I think
share your website and other details in the website, Devli. Thank you so much for your time, and you're doing a
so much.
great job taking
So
this work off.
you have really, really played a big part in spreading this message. You've been a huge inspiration, and thank you so much for taking our voice, and our thoughts across to everyone. And I wish everybody have a blessed, blessed day. Thank you. Jai Go
Thank you.
Mata.
Jai Go Mata.